God says, stop doubting the path you're on. Archangel Michael cleared the road ahead of you. You're walking in divine timing now. My beloved child, there's a reason you are hearing this message now. Heaven has been whispering your name for days, and Archangel Michael himself has stepped forward to make sure this reaches you. God says, stop doubting the path you're on. The very road that once looked uncertain has been cleared by divine hands. The confusion, the delays, the sudden turns, they were never signs of failure. They were signs of formation. Listen closely. Archangel Michael stands before you, sword of light blazing, sweeping away every obstacle that tried to make you question your destiny. You've been walking under divine construction, not divine punishment. Every closed door was heaven's way of preparing a higher gate. And that gate, child of light, is opening now. There were moments you felt lost, weren't there? As if your prayers went unanswered. You thought maybe you took the wrong step or misheard God's direction. But heaven wants you to hear this loud and clear. You didn't miss it. You didn't wander off the path. The path itself was being reshaped to meet you. The delay was never denial. It was divine redirection. Archangel Michael says, the road ahead of you has been cleared. The spiritual fog that clouded your vision is lifting. You will soon see alignment happening in ways that will leave you speechless. Where there was resistance, there will now be favor. Where there was fear, peace will settle. Where there was confusion, divine clarity will reign. Child of destiny, the timing you are walking in is not ordinary. It's heaven calibrated. The steps you are taking are synchronized with God's perfect plan. You may feel like you are moving slow, but in the unseen realm, things are accelerating beyond measure. Every angel assigned to your journey is now repositioned. Every wrong connection is being cut off. Archangel Michael has already gone before you to ensure your feet will not slip on the sacred ground. Heaven is saying, you are not behind. You are right on time. That pit you fell in, it became the foundation for the platform you're about to rise from. That pain that almost broke you, it refined you into gold. You had to walk through uncertainty so that faith could become your map. And now, the map is leading you home, straight into divine timing. Wait for it. This is where it gets powerful. Because in the next moment, something supernatural is about to unfold in your life. The angelic movement has already begun. You'll soon feel an unexplainable peace, like a whisper from eternity saying, keep walking, you're almost there. Type I trust the divine path in the comments if this message touches your spirit. Lesson code 444 is now active. Child of purpose, when Archangel Michael clears a path, it is not just an act of protection. It is a divine signal that the season of resistance has ended. You may not see the full picture yet, but the heavens are aligning people, places, and opportunities that will confirm your calling. What once felt like delay will soon reveal itself as divine design. Every detour you took, every wrong turn that caused tears, was actually a rerouting under divine supervision. Archangel Michael has been standing at the crossroads, commanding, no more interference, no more confusion. The spiritual blockages that made you question your worth are being dissolved even as these words reach you. You have been asking God for a sign, some assurance that you are not moving in vain. This message is that sign. The heavens have heard your cry, and the silence you mistook for absence was actually preparation. Every prayer you whispered through sleepless nights had been recorded in the archives of heaven. Nothing was ignored. Nothing was wasted. You were being trained to recognize divine timing, not human timing. And now, as you breathe these words in, that divine timing is manifesting. Archangel Michael wants you to know that he has already walked ahead of you, lighting the way where your eyes could not yet see. There were traps set for you, emotional traps, relational traps, even mental ones, but he has shattered them. He has gone before you like a blazing torch in a midnight storm. The things that once threatened to derail your purpose will now testify of your strength. The very road that broke your heart will become the highway of your breakthrough. You are walking into answered prayer, even if it feels unfamiliar. The path of the righteous is not straight. It's sculpted by divine intention, shaped by unseen grace. You may feel like you're still waiting, but heaven says, the wait is over. What's coming next will not make sense to your logic, but it will confirm everything your spirit already knew. Watch closely, because people who once doubted you will have no choice but to acknowledge that something divine is guiding your every move. The light around you is intensifying, and that's why certain people are falling away. It's not rejection. It's separation for elevation. The path you're on now requires peace, not noise. And Archangel Michael is cutting away every tie that could pull you backward. Before you move on, pause for a moment and let this truth settle deep into your heart. You are not walking alone. Every step you take now echoes through eternity, and angels are adjusting the atmosphere to favor you. Keep your faith steady, for what unfolds next will confirm that you were never off track. Heaven was simply preparing you for divine alignment. Hold on, because what's about to be revealed in the next part will explain why the road had to be so hard before it became clear. You'll understand the hidden purpose behind every delay. Type "I walk in divine timing" in the comments if this resonates with your soul. Blessing code 1188 hath been activated. Chosen one, the moment you stopped fighting the process, heaven began to move in ways you couldn't see. God's plan was never to make you struggle endlessly. It was to make you strong enough to carry the blessing coming your way. You see, there is a sacred principle in motion. Before divine promotion, there is divine pressure. The pressure you felt, the confusion, the endless questions, none of it was random. Archangel Michael was beside you, guarding you through every season of testing, making sure nothing that wasn't meant for you could attach itself to your destiny. He was sent to cut through the spiritual clutter, the wrong voices, the false friendships, the draining environments. Everything that left your life did so under divine order. God says, stop doubting the path, because it's the very road I built for your anointing. You were never walking in circles, you were walking in preparation. What felt like delay was God stretching the capacity of your faith. He had to pull you away from the noise to refine your discernment. That is why certain people couldn't go with you. You thought they abandoned you, but in truth, heaven separated them to keep your spirit pure. The vision on your life was too sacred to be contaminated by those who didn't believe in it. Archangel Michael is revealing something powerful right now. The road you're walking on has been purified by divine fire. Every step forward will now carry favor that multiplies. There will be no more false starts, no more confusion about direction. A holy certainty will rise inside you that says, I am exactly where I am meant to be. The whispers of doubt that used to haunt your nights are being silenced. You will begin to sense a supernatural confidence, an unshakable peace that cannot be explained by circumstance. That's how you will know the angelic realm is active around you. Child of promise, heaven is calling this your season of divine confirmation. People who once questioned you will soon witness the fruit of your obedience. Doors that were sealed will swing open without you forcing them. Opportunities you couldn't chase before will now chase you. God's favor is not coming to you. It's flowing through you. You are stepping into a rhythm where timing and destiny move as one. The heavens are saying, You are not late. You are aligned. Before you leave this message, remember this. What's coming next is not a coincidence. It's the manifestation of divine timing that's been written for you since the beginning. The same Archangel who fought for your clarity is now releasing victory in your atmosphere. Hold steady, because the next revelation will uncover what that victory truly means for your future. You won't just walk in the light. You will become the light for others still trapped in confusion. If this word stirs your spirit, don't just watch. Interact with the move of heaven. Like this message so it reaches more souls. Comment below and declare your agreement. Share this with someone who's been questioning their path, because their breakthrough might depend on it. And if you haven't yet, subscribe so you never miss another prophetic word released from heaven's throne. Type "I am in divine alignment" in the comments to seal this message. Blessing code 2025 has been released upon you. Now, beloved listener, before you go, hear this from the heart of heaven. When you give into this mission, you're not supporting a channel. You're sowing into eternity. Every time you use the super thanks, join our membership, or sow through the PayPal link in the description, you become a vessel carrying God's light into the digital world. The harvest of souls is ready, and your seed helps us reach those still wandering in the dark. I speak this over you now. As you give, may rivers of divine provision flow back into your life. The oil of breakthrough will not run dry in your home. Archangel Michael himself will guard your resources and multiply your seed of faith. This is not donation, it's obedience, it's participation in prophecy. So act now, and let heaven see your faith in motion. Beloved soul, now that your heart has been opened to divine alignment, heaven is ready to reveal the deeper mystery behind your journey. Every time you felt lost, every time you asked God, "Why me?" there was an unseen hand guiding your steps with precision. The storms were never meant to destroy you. They were meant to train your spirit to hear God in the wind. Archangel Michael stood by you through every hidden battle, fighting forces you didn't even know existed. He was the one who deflected attacks you never saw coming, who whispered strength into your heart when you thought you couldn't continue. Every sleepless night, every tear that hit your pillow became a sacred seed that watered your destiny. You need to know this truth now. Your destiny has been guarded by heaven itself. You were never ordinary, which is why your path could never be simple. The road had to twist and turn, not to confuse you, but to keep you dependent on God's timing. Archangel Michael's assignment was not only to clear your external path, but to purify your internal landscape, your thoughts, your emotions, your heart posture. He has been reshaping your spirit to recognize divine order. That's why certain things no longer excite you, and certain people no longer fit your life. Your energy hath been elevated to match heaven's frequency. Child of light, hear this carefully. Your current position is not a delay. It is a divine intersection. You are standing between what was promised and what is being birthed. The spiritual atmosphere around you has shifted, and the heavens are watching your next step. God is saying, "Do not rush what I am perfecting." The reason the road ahead now feels clear is because it has been tested and proven. Every trial before this moment was a cleansing, ensuring no darkness could follow you into your next chapter. And now, the light ahead of you is not just illumination, it is direction. Archangel Michael's presence is intensifying around you. You may begin to sense waves of peace washing over your spirit, moments of deep stillness, or unexpected joy in the middle of chaos. These are not coincidences, they are confirmations. You are entering divine flow, where resistance ends and revelation begins. The plans that once seemed scattered will soon form a pattern so perfect that you will stand in awe of God's precision. It will feel like puzzle pieces falling into place after years of confusion. That is divine timing in motion. God says, what is coming will not require your struggle, only your obedience. You no longer need to force things to happen. The doors meant for you will open with ease because the guardian of your destiny has already gone ahead. The people who once ignored you will begin to remember your name. The opportunities you thought were lost will circle back with greater favor. But you must stay anchored in faith. This is not the moment to second-guess or retreat. Keep your heart open and your eyes fixed on what is unfolding before you. Trust me, what you will hear next will uncover the reason your old season had to collapse before this new one could rise. Something divine is about to be unveiled that will make every delay suddenly make sense. Type "I trust heaven's timing" in the comments if this speaks to your spirit. Blessing code 913 has now been activated for those walking in divine trust. Beloved one, as the veil begins to lift, you are stepping into a sacred understanding of why things had to unfold the way they did. Every delay was a teaching, every heartbreak was a refining, and every closed door was a redirection. God never wanted you to be lost. He wanted you to be led. And in that leading, Archangel Michael was always there, preparing the next stage before you even reached it. What looked like endings were actually new beginnings hidden under disguise. The divine timing you are walking in now is not random. It's a calculated move by heaven that required your full surrender. You see, there were seasons when you prayed for open doors, but heaven stayed silent. Not because you were forgotten, but because your character was still being fortified. God could not place you into a destiny you weren't ready to sustain. Archangel Michael stood beside you during those silent months, guarding your spirit from discouragement and shielding your faith from collapse. He knew that if you gave up too soon, you would forfeit blessings that were already being prepared in the unseen. But you didn't give up. You held on, even when it hurt. You kept walking when you couldn't see the road ahead. And because of that, heaven has declared your path ready for release. This is the turning point, the moment your faith begins to produce visible fruit. You will notice divine coincidences beginning to multiply around you. A conversation that leads to an unexpected opportunity, a sudden reconciliation with someone from your past, or a message that feels perfectly timed. These are not mere happenings, they are heaven's confirmation. Archangel Michael has cleared the energetic clutter around your path, and now, every step forward will feel guided. There will be no more wandering, no more confusion. You will sense an inner pull toward the right places and people, as if destiny itself is magnetically drawing you in. But be mindful, chosen one. As clarity comes, distraction will try to return. There will be moments when your old fears whisper again, trying to convince you that you're not ready or worthy. When that happens, remember, the path has already been sanctified by angelic hands. You are not walking into uncertainty. You are walking into fulfillment. The time you once thought was wasted has been redeemed. Heaven's clock never runs late. God's timing is not measured by minutes or days, but by divine readiness. And right now, you are ready. Archangel Michael declares, move with faith, not fear. What you touch now will prosper. What you speak now will manifest. This is your appointed moment to step into the rhythm of divine flow. The same God who called you out of confusion is now calling you into completion. Everything you prayed for is aligning, not because of luck, but because heaven has ordered it so. You are being written into the fulfillment of prophecy. The path before you is glowing brighter with every act of obedience. Before you go, stay with me, because what unfolds next will expose the hidden reason behind every battle you fought in silence. you will finally understand the purpose of your waiting season. Type "I am ready for my divine turnaround" in the comments to claim this word over your life. Blessing code 1919 is now released for those walking in readiness and faith. Dear heart, you have reached the moment when revelation begins to unfold before your very eyes. A long road you've been walking is now showing its true design. Every twist that once felt like chaos was actually divine choreography. The hand of God hath been upon you since the beginning, and Archangel Michael has guarded your every step with precision. What seemed like confusion was really protection. Heaven was never silent. It was strategic. Every prayer you thought was unanswered was being translated into divine movement behind the scenes. You were never abandoned. You were being prepared for a season of fulfillment that could only arrive through endurance. Listen closely, because this is where the message becomes sacred. Archangel Michael says, the road ahead is not just open, it is blessed. The obstacles that once intimidated you are now powerless. Those cycles that seem to repeat endlessly are breaking right now under divine authority. This is the season where you begin to walk with new confidence, not because circumstances changed, but because you finally understand who walks beside you. You were never meant to walk in fear. You were meant to walk in dominion. Heaven has assigned angels to go before you, clearing debris from your spiritual path so that your destiny can manifest unhindered. God says, I did not bring you this far to leave you now. You have cried enough tears, doubted yourself enough times, and second-guessed your worth long enough. Now is the time to trust the preparation. The favor that once felt distant is now drawing close. Doors are not just opening, they are aligning. The people you will meet in this season are divine connections, placed strategically to advance you. Some will appear as helpers, some as mentors, and some as mirrors reflecting the strength you had forgotten you carried. Pay attention to these encounters. They are not coincidences. They are confirmations that you are moving under divine timing. There will be moments when you'll feel a sense of déjà vu, as if you've walked this path before. That is your spirit recognizing fulfillment. Prophetic words spoken over your life years ago now finding expression. Archangel Michael reminds you to remain grounded. Do not let excitement distract you from discernment. The same clarity that revealed your path must now guide your choices. And blessings multiply, wisdom must increase. For every new level of favor, there must be an equal depth of faith. Remember, divine timing is not about rushing. It's about recognizing the rhythm of heaven and walking in step with it. You are entering a phase of visible acceleration. The slow movement of the past was never delay. It was calibration. Heaven was ensuring your steps were steady before releasing speed. And now that your foundation is secure, momentum will come effortlessly. The more you align your thoughts with faith, the faster manifestation will occur. But guard your mind. The enemy will attempt to reintroduce doubt to slow you down. When that happens, call upon Archangel Michael. Speak his name with authority. He will stand between you and confusion as a warrior of divine clarity. Hold on, because what comes next will reveal the prophetic meaning behind your recent struggles. The veil is about to lift, and the truth will bring healing to wounds that have lingered for too long. You will finally see why the rejection, the silence, and the waiting were all necessary pieces of your divine transformation. Type "I stand in divine authority" in the comments to affirm this truth. Blessing code 3030 has been released for those stepping boldly into divine confidence. Child of destiny, this is the moment when revelation becomes reality. The fog that once clouded your vision is lifting, and the picture of your purpose is finally becoming clear. Heaven has been building this moment for years, layer upon layer, season after season. God never wasted a single tear or delay. Everything was synchronized with divine intelligence. Archangel Michael now stands at the gate of your destiny, holding the key that unlocks your next phase. He declares, "The waiting is over. The alignment is complete. What you are about to walk into is not coincidence. It is prophecy unfolding in real time." You once wondered why God allowed so many endings at once. Friendships faded, opportunities disappeared, doors you were sure of suddenly closed. But those endings were not punishment, they were pruning. Heaven was removing what could not sustain your next chapter. Archangel Michael, the great defender of divine purpose, was cutting ties with anything that carried spiritual weight meant to slow you down. Some connections were draining your anointing. Some distractions were delaying your rise. Now, you stand lighter, freer, and ready to move forward without hesitation. What you lost in the flesh was never meant for your future. It was simply making room for what heaven has ordained to replace it. You are now walking on ground that has been purified by trial. The things that once intimidated you will no longer have the same power. The enemy that once made you fearful will now recognize you as unshakable. This transformation was not sudden. It was forged through fire. And that fire, though painful, refined your spirit until it became golden. God trusted you with hardship because He intended to reveal glory through your endurance. The path you questioned so many times is now producing evidence of divine order. Miracles are aligning, conversations are shifting, and favor is beginning to chase you down. Archangel Michael is revealing a truth that heaven has held for you. Every disappointment was secretly an answered prayer. The doors that closed protected you from wounds that would have delayed your calling. The rejection you faced was a divine redirection toward something greater. You have now entered a chapter where your obedience becomes your weapon. You will no longer need to explain yourself to anyone, because results will speak louder than words. Heaven has positioned you as an example of divine timing at work, a living testimony that faith never returns empty. God says, "I am rewriting your story before the eyes of those who thought it was over for you." There will be a public display of restoration that will bring glory to my name. People will ask how you survived, and you will say, "Because heaven cleared the road before me." Archangel Michael's sword has cut through your old battles, and now peace will walk beside you as your constant companion. The season of uncertainty has closed. You have entered the rhythm of divine flow. Wait, because the next revelation is going to pierce your spirit. It will reveal the exact reason heaven had to make you wait this long, and why now is the only moment you could carry this kind of blessing. Type "I receive my divine restoration" in the comments if this resonates with your heart. Blessing code 717 has now been released upon all who walk in faith and endurance. Beloved one, you are now standing at the threshold of divine fulfillment. This is the season that heaven had in mind all along when you were walking through darkness, pain, and uncertainty. You could not see it then, but everything was aligning itself for this very moment. God was orchestrating a sequence of events so intricate that only now, looking back, will you begin to see the divine fingerprints on every detail. Archangel Michael has cleared the road ahead, and now the light of heaven shines on the path that once terrified you. The time of questioning has ended. The time of walking in full authority has begun. You are no longer being prepared for the promise. You are standing in it. There is a sacred shift taking place around you. What once resisted your progress will now yield to your voice. The same ground that once rejected your seed will now produce an abundant harvest. You are not stepping into a new season. You are stepping into divine synchronization. Every step you take now is amplified by heaven's power. You will notice how easily things begin to align, how suddenly conversations open new doors, and how unexpectedly you feel peace in situations that once caused anxiety. These are not coincidences. These are confirmations that divine timing has fully engaged. Archangel Michael has gone before you to ensure no spiritual interference can block what God has ordained. You have become a vessel of manifestation. The words you speak in faith are no longer waiting for approval. They carry creative power. Heaven trusts you now. You have passed through testing, you have endured silence, and you have stayed obedient when nothing made sense. Because of that, your authority has multiplied. When you decree, heaven listens. When you move, angels align. You have been upgraded in the spirit, and Archangel Michael has been assigned to guard that upgrade. You will notice that things which once strained you no longer affect you. Your spirit has matured, your faith has deepened, and your purpose has sharpened. God says, the road you are walking now is under divine covenant. Every place your feet touch, I will bless. You are not simply following a path, you are establishing a legacy. Generations to come will walk in the light of your obedience. The favor that's about to find you is generational in its reach. The doors that open for you will open for others through you. Archangel Michael declares that this is the season where heaven will publicly vindicate those who stayed faithful in private. You may have been overlooked before, but now you will be recognized, not for what you tried to achieve, but for what you endured with grace. Before this message concludes, let your heart take this in. What lies ahead of you will not be achieved by striving, but by surrender. Divine timing is not about effort, it is about flow. Rest in the knowing that heaven has already handled the details. Trust what you feel in your spirit, even if it doesn't make sense in the natural. The road ahead is not only open, it is anointed. Walk boldly, because you are no longer the same person who began this journey. If this message has spoken to your soul, pause and let heaven hear your agreement. Like this video so the divine word can reach others who need it. Comment below and testify of what God has already begun to do. Share this message so more hearts can awaken to the truth of divine timing. Subscribe and stay connected so you don't miss the revelations that are yet to unfold. Type "I walk in divine fulfillment" in the comments to seal this moment. Blessing code 5555 is now released over all who walk in covenant alignment. Now hear this, child of faith. When you support this mission, you're not giving to a channel. You're fueling a move of heaven. Each super thanks, membership, we're offering through the PayPal link in the description becomes a divine act of partnership. You are sowing into a stream that carries light, clarity, and transformation to souls all around the world. God says those who water others will themselves be watered. As you give, you open the heavens over your own life. The oil of favor will flow without limit. The gates of opportunity will widen, and Archangel Michael will surround your resources with protection. This is not about money, it is about mission. So act in faith today, and let your giving become a living prophecy that says, I stand with heaven's message. Dearest listener, the moment you begin to truly understand divine timing, peace replaces the need for control. You have spent years trying to make sense of the path, but now heaven is unveiling the purpose behind it all. Every painful pause, every unanswered prayer, and every detour was part of a design meant to mature your spirit. God was not punishing you. He was preparing you to hold what He always intended to give. You see, if blessings arrive before readiness, they become burdens. But heaven, in its infinite wisdom, waited until the exact moment when your heart could carry glory without pride. That moment, beloved, is now. Archangel Michael stands behind you. his wings stretched wide over the road you are walking. He has sealed the way with divine fire so that no darkness can follow. This is why you may feel peace where chaos used to live. The spiritual atmosphere around you has shifted. You are no longer fighting for survival. You are walking in assignment. The warfare of the past season was the training ground for your current authority. Every scar became a seal of victory. You are not the same person who began this journey. You have evolved into someone who moves with heaven's rhythm. Every choice you make in obedience now carries eternal weight. God is saying, this is the moment when your obedience will bear visible fruit. Do not be surprised when manifestations begin to multiply. What you prayed for in the dark will soon appear in the light. The road you doubted is becoming the very testimony that others will lean on for faith. You are not simply being blessed. You are becoming a channel of blessing. Those who watch your story will know that divine timing is real. They will see how every disappointment was a setup for revelation. Heaven is turning your history into prophecy, your past into a signpost of God's power. Archangel Michael whispers, move forward without fear, for the way is protected. The battles you feared to face will now bow to your authority. The places that once rejected you will call for your presence. The words spoken against you will crumble, and your name will be lifted by the hand of divine justice. This is not revenge. It is restoration. You are not returning to where you were. You are ascending to where you were always meant to be. This is the unfolding of destiny written long before you took your first step. Take this moment to breathe and acknowledge what is happening within you. The divine peace you now feel is not ordinary. It is evidence that heaven has taken command. What you see aligning in your life is not luck. It is fulfillment. And yet, the greatest revelation is still ahead. The next unfolding will reveal the spiritual reason you had to walk through the darkness before seeing this light. It will explain not just what God did, but why He did it the way He did. Type I am walking in divine completion in the comments to affirm your faith. Blessing code 8282 has now been activated for those who trust God's timing and release the need for control. Beloved vessel of light, you are standing in the portion of your journey where heaven begins to reveal the reason for every past battle. You once questioned why certain seasons stretched you to the point of breaking, why relationships fell apart just when you needed support the most, and why silence replaced answers when you prayed with desperation. But now, the divine truth is unfolding before you. Those were not moments of abandonment. They were moments of construction. God was building within you the capacity to carry a greater mantle. The foundation of your destiny had to be deepened, and pain became the instrument that carved the depth. Archangel Michael oversaw every part of it, ensuring that not even one trial could destroy what heaven was forming within you. The battles that almost crushed you were never about loss. They were about revelation. Heaven was showing you who you are when stripped of comfort, when faith becomes your only compass. Each tear you cried was a prophecy of what would soon be restored in joy. You endured rejection because heaven needed to separate you from those who could not discern your worth. You faced resistance because your calling carries weight. The more significant your assignment, the more intense the refinement. But you endured it all. That endurance has now transformed into authority. When you speak now, heaven recognizes your voice as one that has been proven through the fire. Archangel Michael says, your perseverance has opened gates that could not open before. The spiritual opposition that once stood like mountains before you hath been reduced to dust. You are walking into a season where things that were once hard will become effortless. The divine road ahead is smooth, not because the world has changed, but because you have. You no longer react to delay with fear, nor to silence with panic. You have learned to move with the rhythm of heaven, and that is why divine timing now works in your favor. You are aligned, anointed, and anchored. God says, I am about to repay you for every moment you thought was wasted. The lost years are being redeemed. Every opportunity that slipped away is being replaced with something that carries double glory. What you are about to receive will feel like restoration and acceleration happening at once. People will wonder how everything suddenly began to work for you. But you will know the truth. It wasn't sudden. It was divinely scheduled. Heaven was simply waiting for you to mature into the person who could sustain the promise. Now, as you step into this next wave of divine timing, Archangel Michael surrounds you with a wall of light. Nothing can delay what has already been decreed. The road before you is marked by destiny, and every step will echo through eternity as proof that you trusted when you could not see. You will soon stand in places that once felt unreachable and realize that every trial was a bridge leading here. Stay with me, for what you are about to hear next will reveal the heavenly decree that is being written over your life right now. It will explain why heaven calls this your appointed manifestation season. You'll understand that you're not simply walking in divine timing. You're walking as a carrier of divine fulfillment itself. Type I am living under divine favor in the comments to seal this truth in your spirit. Blessing code 1010 is now released for those walking in restoration and completion. Beloved child of purpose, this is the hour when heaven begins to crown endurance with evidence. The waiting that once weighed heavily upon your heart is about to give birth to fulfillment. You have walked through deserts that no one else could see, carrying faith like a hidden treasure when everything around you told you to give up. But the divine script has turned. What once felt like wilderness has become a stage for miracles. Archangel Michael stands behind you, his presence burning with holy light, declaring that the words spoken over your life are now entering manifestation. Heaven is no longer whispering promises, it is performing them. Every prophetic word that felt delayed is aligning with this very moment in time. God is saying, you have graduated from the season of testing to the season of testimony. What you have endured in silence will now speak loudly in favor. The invisible work within you is about to produce visible transformation. You will recognize it not just by what happens externally, but by the peace that surrounds you internally. You will wake up one morning and realize that fear no longer has authority over you. You will feel power in your words, calm in your decisions, and strength in your stillness. That is the mark of divine maturity, the kind that comes only through walking in faith when sight was absent. Archangel Michael watched every moment of your endurance and has now gone before you to establish permanence where instability once ruled. The tables are turning in your favor. The things that once intimidated you will now serve you. The same places that rejected you will send invitations. The voices that once criticized you will fall silent as heaven vindicates your obedience. You will not need to prove yourself. Your life will speak for you. God has inscribed your name upon doors that were once sealed shut. Favor will appear without you chasing it. Opportunities will open without explanation. When this happens, remember, it is not random, it is divine timing. The universe is aligning to fulfill a heavenly blueprint written long before your birth. Archangel Michael says, walk forward, not as one searching for direction, but as one fulfilling destiny. The clearing has been completed. Every obstruction that once stood in your way has been removed. Your steps are ordered now, your atmosphere purified, your purpose reaffirmed. You are entering a season of spiritual visibility, where people will see the light that has been hidden within you for so long. Heaven did not create you to remain unseen. It created you to illuminate. The same trials that once tried to destroy you have become your testimony's foundation. God whispers, be still, and know that I am God. The road you're on now carries sacred power. Do not rush it. Savor every moment of its unfolding. For what is happening now will echo far beyond your current season. The breakthroughs you are about to experience will open pathways for others who come after you. You were not just walking for yourself, you were walking for generations. The legacy you are stepping into was purchased by your endurance, sealed by your faith, and protected by Archangel Michael's hand. Do not miss what comes next, because the next revelation carries heaven's final declaration over your path, the divine confirmation that this journey was never about wandering. It was always about destiny being fulfilled. Type I am anointed for fulfillment in the comments to claim your inheritance of divine manifestation. Blessing code 1199 has been released upon all who have endured with faith and now stand ready to receive. Beloved one, this is the moment heaven has been leading you toward from the very beginning. Every message, every trial, every tear, and every whisper of hope has brought you here, to the place of divine confirmation. The path you doubted is now shining beneath your feet, illuminated by the very light that once felt distant. God says, "Now you see what I was doing all along." This is your full circle moment. The same road that once made you question your worth is now the very testimony that will prove your divine calling. Archangel Michael stands before you with a declaration written in heavenly fire. You are walking in divine timing now. Nothing and no one can alter what heaven has decreed. Look back for a moment and see the beauty of God's design. The heartbreaks that shattered your confidence became the soil where faith took root. The silence that once hurt you so deeply was heaven's way of maturing your hearing. The confusion that clouded your steps trained your spirit to follow divine peace over human logic. Every delay was preparation, and every denial was direction. You have not missed your purpose, you have met it. You are not lost, you are positioned. The chaos that once surrounded your journey has become order under divine authority. The war you fought so long has ended, not because the enemy gave up, but because heaven has declared it finished. Archangel Michael says, the road ahead is not being cleared anymore. It has already been conquered. The spiritual resistance that once stood against you has been broken permanently. From this point forward, you will walk under open heavens. Your path will no longer feel uncertain. It will feel guided. You will sense divine timing in the smallest details of your life. Phone calls that arrive at the exact right moment, opportunities that align effortlessly, and people whose presence feels like prophecy. The orchestration of heaven will become visible. You will not need to force anything anymore. What belongs to you will now flow naturally into your life. God declares, this is your appointed hour. The season of wondering has ended, and the season of walking in authority has begun. You are not being prepared anymore, you are being positioned. Every gift within you that lay dormant will now awaken. Dreams that you thought were lost will be revived. Promises that seemed forgotten will be fulfilled in rapid succession. Heaven's clock is struck now. What was once prophecy has become reality. The waiting was not wasted. It was sacred alignment. You have become what heaven always intended you to be, a vessel of divine timing, walking proof that surrender brings victory. Archangel Michael commands you to move forward without hesitation. Do not look back for permission to walk into the future God has written for you. The same divine hand that cleared your road will sustain your steps. You are fully covered, completely equipped, and infinitely favored. The light before you will not dim. It will grow stronger with every act of obedience. As you continue walking, others will see your journey and find courage for their own. This is how heaven multiplies purpose, one obedient soul at a time. You are that soul. Before you go, remember to anchor this word in your spirit. Like this video so it reaches others who need to awaken to their divine season. Comment below your declaration of faith. Share this message so others walking in uncertainty can find the light. Subscribe and stay connected, because the next revelation released will continue guiding you deeper into divine purpose. Heaven is still speaking through this space. Type "I walk in divine completion" in the comments if this message speaks to your spirit. Blessing code 7777 had been released to seal your path in eternal favor. Now, hear this final pull from heaven's heart. When you sow into this mission, you are sowing into eternity. Your giving, through super thanks, membership, or the PayPal link in the description, is not an act of charity but an act of prophecy. Each seed you release becomes a torch that lights the way for countless others lost in doubt and fear. God says, "Those who build my kingdom will never lack provision." As you partner with this message, the same anointing that flows here will begin to flow through your own life. Rivers of favor will open, opportunities will chase you, and your obedience will echo in heaven as worship. This is not just support. It is divine partnership. So move now, beloved, and let your giving testify that you walk in alignment with heaven's word.